One of the side effects of being an old man is you sometimes forget to take and slow things down. And once more, I left this thing on speed run again, so I'm going to bring it back down to less than one for a minute while we talk. So we're at about, let's take it all the way down, 30% speed. We had a whole bunch of vehicles go out, and one of the most telling is the beginning of the end for the age of sail has begun. And after this, there will only be 2 sailboats left. Those are the Hermaphrodite brig and the Brigantine. One carries cooled goods, the other carries passengers. And that cooled goods means fish. But I haven't seen a fish in 128 yet. So we lost the sailpost ship, the cargo steamer, which was the combination steam and sail, and the passenger steamer, combination steam and sail. And the RMS Baltic has already been discontinued, the Baltic class. So with those ships out of the way, now we look at the air. The Rohrbach Rauco and the Handley Page W8B have both been discontinued. Looking to our rails, our small bulk wagons are now discontinued. And we're going to get a bigger bulk wagon out of this. So that's a good sign. So we can close that. The closed car has been discontinued. The steel passenger wagon has been discontinued. The Cannonball cooling car, the 6-wheeled milk wagon that we're using out there, all discontinued. And the RVG 040T, one of the trains we'd been using, has been discontinued. Further, the Cord truck has been shut down, and the Sindor tram has been closed off. What did we get in return? Well, steamboat-wise, we got the oil barge, and that looks like that's it. All that went out, we got just the oil barge, but there were a few others that we quick closed earlier. Aircraft-wise, we get the Junkers Ju-52 for airmail and the Douglas DC-3. And then, of course, we got a whole bunch of others, like a small engine for switching engine, the new milk car that replaced the one we lost, the Nabe JNR SL D51s. I like these engines. They did me real good once before. And the tender that goes with some of these, the Bully, and the RVG 0440 8-wheeler. We got the new bulk wagon, like we said. We got our goods car. We got the Zephyr train, the rail cars for both mail and passenger, all part of that, and the Flying Berliners, which are a early high-speed streamliner type train. We've got the log hopper, and we've got the second grade coach from the Harrow, which is a pullover. Got the new cooling coach, and then it's just some road vehicles. We got the postage trailer that goes behind a car, and the Volvo bulk truck and GAZ-4 bus. Last episode, we dealt with the yellow lines, how to deal with them, how to take and make them work for you. This episode, we're going to take a look at what else we need to do. Financially, that run, 6 years, unfortunately, did help. Yearly, as you can see, we've come up quite a bit. We're no longer as deep in the hole, but we're still going deeper and deeper in debt each year. So we've got to take and find a way to turn this around for this company. We're doing a good job. We are. It's how to stop this plateauing that's coming at the 76,000 point. We need to get above that line. We need to find, well, as AC/DC says, we got to be back in black. All right, let's do this. Taking a peek at what our issues are, the easiest thing to take a look at is where are we losing the most money? Trucks, we're only losing about 30,000 a year. I can live with that. Train, we're losing money. We should be making money with our train routes. So it's time to look at our trains and see again. Do we have another set of yellows? No, but we've got a bunch of older trains out there. So, older trains, older vehicles, time to start doing some upgrading. Hey, I'm Callie Jack, all aboard. This has been How Not to Game with Callie Jack, and leaving it on speed run. Definitely how not to game, especially when you didn't mean to. Let's take a peek at these lines, and we're going to go to this line, and we're going to use that filter first. We could do it two ways. Find it individual vehicles off the list, come to our vehicle list, and then use the settings to get to obsoletes. And the rent fee that we just put out there is hauling obsolete cars, not the vehicle itself. So we may need to take a look at upgrading that train. That's the Rolling L milk wagon. Let's do that. But this will give us a much more decisive look at it. We've got all sorts of vehicles, and quite a few of them losing us money that have got old cars out there. And it's time to start getting rid of the horse teams, our buggies, and things like that. Let's start with this guy here. He has the 20-ton, but he's got the chippy on him. So once we take the chippy off, yeah, the 20 tons no longer available either. There we go. So we're going to need to find something new. First off, let's sell those engines. I'm going to switch to the Nabe. I like the Nabes. And I'm going to go with the C11. The C11 over the D51 for a reason. And it's not just cheapness. Actually, let's go with the D51. We'll go with a D51. The D51 comes with that pricey, though. Pricey tender. That costs us 21 cents more. So we're already at $3.03. And we're going to go with a 23-ton bulk trailers. But look how many we can carry now. And barely losing any speed. Good option. We're going to copy a couple of these. And we need to go to that. That's the Maw glass, and that's a good one to put it on. Let's put one of these onto the Norbend sandpit one. And we will find our Norbend sander is currently, I hate to say this, I think it actually, yep, it's just starting its way back, so we're just going to retire that thing out in the field. Get rid of him, let him go. And that's already going to be making us money by doing that switch. Ma Glass Collier 1, another good line to take and go into. Close the milk fucking line for a second. So the Collier 1, another one to take and do it onto. He's also got one, and we're going to set that one to retire so it'll unload and then sell in place once it delivers. Start him out. The Motherwell coaling Ma Glass Collier, another good one to take and start doing. Just going to have him retire, and we will put a new train on that as well. Buy a couple more of these. And he's out and on the line. Hey, something made money. I think that was selling out our closed out train. And we're just going to replace everybody delivering into Ma Glass right off the bat. So who else goes to Ma Glass? Well, the Riverbend Sander. There's another good one. And he's just on his way, so we can go to him and retire. And that is line 25. Put that out onto the line and see how it does. So we've gotten rid of quite a few here already. And a couple of these are already starting to turn a black ink fall. Now, one thing I do need to do is expand stations because some of these now can have longer stations. So at Motherwell Coaling and at Granny Coaling, make certain there are 4 long stations to cover that train. Because without a full load, they're not going to leave or they're not going to deliver enough to make money. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. And the nice thing about this train is it's going to be around until engine-wise 49. This one would have only made it to 40 before we'd have been buying an obsolete vehicle to keep it growing. So we got the Collier ones now, black ink, black ink, black ink. We're doing good. The Ma Glass Sander, black ink. So what else can we put these on? Well, I don't think there's anything else up here. Those are all pretty much down souths. And we're going to switch to freight just to be certain. Yes. And that's where most of our blue lines were, was in the freight. Come to passenger, we're just losing money, but they may be because they're obsolete vehicles that can't do the speed to make the money anymore. So let's go ahead and sell that setup because we're going to head down south to the power line segment for live power. And down here, same thing. Doing this, do the 23-ton cars. And we need to know which routes we were looking at again. So looking at those routes, well, live power Collier, the well carbon, live power carbon. All right, let's do that. Now this one's got a whole bunch of trains sitting, so we're just going to retire them because those guys are empty and not loading. So that's a good sign that we need to get rid of them. This guy's just about full, so we're going to set him to retire as well. And we need to come down here to this spot, and we will need to extend those stations as well as retarget our pickup point. So before I even send him out, I really should do that. Let's do that right now. So extend the stations. Okay, so those stations have been extended. Now we need to go into the line and retarget to here. Remove that point. 100% the load. Go. And things should be much better now. All right. Now start him. And we'll build a second one right behind him because there was 4 of those guys on that. Buy a couple because we're going to be dispatching from that spot. And send him off. Oops. Okay. So that should take care of the alert lead, which is now just going to be a red line until it delivers enough. Riverside coal. And Riverside Coal's another good one to take and launch that into. Let's go ahead and set him for Riverside Coal. And we will tell this guy here, go ahead and start your retirement run. Unload what you got, get what money we can out of you, and load that next guy up. But again, same thing. Find Riverside Coal. Make certain he's got plenty deep enough station. He does. Okay. We're doing fair. The well carbon. And this guy can definitely just go ahead, send him on his retirement round, find that nearest depot, and build another train. Well, that's 20 minutes. I'm going to call it an episode. I believe this is episode 29, guys. Sorry for being a little bit off. I'm trying to get used to that new way and didn't use it this morning. I'm going to make certain everything's all set up. And before we go any further, we got a new streetcar available. And we'll be looking into streetcars next as we start working through to try and see what we can do to increase the amount of goods we're moving per trip and lower the cost per trip, so that overall we start to see this climb closer to zero or above it. I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I'm having.